Hi everyone, it's Christine here from Ever After Paper Crafts, and today I have a super quick, hopefully super quick, super fun video to share with you regarding some watercoloring to create this really beautiful card here. As you can see, this is kind of a different watercolor than what you're probably used to seeing out there. So I'm going to show you how I did this painting on this gorgeous floral image. Now, the image is from the Floral Bliss stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, which is a gorgeous stamp set. This came in the most recent card kit club from Simon Says Stamp, but you can actually purchase this stamp set individually now. It is for sale, and I happen to have an extra one. So I'm also doing a giveaway in this video, and at the very end of the video, I will explain what you need to do to win this stamp set. This is brand new, still in the package, and I'm giving it away to one of my lucky viewers. So stay tuned to the end of the video for information on that. So let's go ahead and get started. To do this coloring today, I am using pearlescent color watercolors from Fine Tech. I got these watercolor paints at Simon Says Stamp, and they have 12 colors come in this set, and they are absolutely beautiful. And they are really meant more for coloring on darker cardstock, because as you can see here, just the gorgeous shimmer and shine that you get from these, and you wouldn't be able to see that really on white cardstock. So here's what the palette looks like. It's hard to get it all in frame here, but I mostly used this blue, this green, this red down here, and some gold for my coloring today. So I'm going to go ahead and put this card aside, and I already went ahead and stamped and embossed in gold. Let me just show you the shine there so you can see. My image is stamped and heat embossed with gold embossing powder. And I wanted to go ahead and do that before coming on camera because it's going to take a little while. It's not hard, but it's just going to take a little while to color this image, and I didn't want to take too much time with all the extras. And I probably won't even put the full card together on camera, again, just to save time, because I really want to show you how these paints work. Now, you can use a water brush, like if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I often use this water brush here, which is a Zig water brush. It's my favorite for coloring with my Zig markers. But today, I'm going to actually use a paintbrush. This is a silver black velvet size 4 round paintbrush, and I found this to be the perfect size for getting into these small spaces on this flower image. So I have a cup of water here. Now these are pigmented inks, so you're going to have to get them really wet to get that paint and the pigment flowing, to get the paint wet and to get it to start flowing. I'm going to start with this green color here, and let me move this up. It's this green color right here is what I'm going to start with. And it's actually the back here of this packaging has all of the colors. So what I think I'm going to do is actually just cut this out and glue it into the top palette here of my watercolors, but for now I'm just leaving it on the packaging. And this green color is actually called Caribbean Green, and it's very, very, very pretty. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take my wet paintbrush, and again, you have to get these really wet for this pigment to start moving. So I've gotten it pretty wet, and I'm going to start painting the leaves. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint down the middle and along the bottom first, because I'm still trying to get a little bit of shading like I do with my markers. But you're not going to see a whole lot of that, and quite frankly, it's not that important when you're dealing with these pretty watercolors. I also have a paper towel handy, so when I want to get just a little bit of the water off to help with the blending, the paper towel is great for that. Now, keep your cup handy of water, because you're gonna have to reach in for that quite a bit to keep these thicker pigmented paints moving. So all I'm doing is pushing the paint out to cover up all the open space in the leaf. So I'm going to go and get some more paint from my palette here and just push these colors into these black spaces. And as you can see, this little watercolor brush here, it just gets into these small spaces perfectly. It really is the best size for this, I think. They also make a size 2 round brush, which I'm thinking of getting for even smaller spaces, but I don't have that yet. And I got this brush at Simon Says Stamp. So let me just bring this up to the camera to show you. You can start seeing how I've done that green there and how beautiful and shiny and shimmery it is. Now I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in now, and you're not gonna be able to really see me going back and forth to the paints, but you will be able to better see me. Whoops, just totally messed up the camera angle there. I think you'll be able to see my coloring a bit better. So I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit there. Okay, so now we're just gonna keep going with the leaves. Similar strategy here, just kind of starting at the bottoms and working my way up. And I have found if you put a little bit too much water on, you will go out of the lines just a little bit, but that's okay. Just clean your water brush off, dry it a little bit on your paper towel, and then just like you would do with the zig markers, just put that clean water on the outside where you went out of the lines, and it will get rid of it. It's gonna make it go away. Another thing to remember is, and then you can take your paper towel and blot it just to finish up that train of thought there. And now you can't really see that I went out of the lines there. Another thing to keep in mind, this is just black cardstock. As far as I know, they don't make black cardstock in a watercolor type paper. So you want to be, and that's why I've taped this paper down, because I want to help avoid warping of the paper, because again, it's not meant for water. Also keep that in mind when you're reaching for your water. You don't want to saturate this paper too much, because it's not watercolor paper. A little bit of water won't hurt it, and I found that I was able to do this project with no problem, but just keep that in mind. Okay, now since I've done a few of the leaves, I'm going to go ahead and do these this large flower right here. And for that, I used a red color. It's actually just called red. I gotta get that nice and wet to get that pigment moving. And I'm just going to color in this flower here. And this paint really just flows easily. A very light hand is all that's required, and a little bit of water, and this color will just spread out. And it's so shiny and beautiful. I'm really hopeful that the camera is picking this up. Now I'm going to go back to the leaf, and again, in between each color, of course, clean your brush off in your water cup so you don't contaminate the colors. So now I'm just using the green again on this particular leaf. I went out of the lines just a little bit, and mostly that's just because it's not, I don't want you to think that going out of the lines is normal. It's just a little bit harder when I'm filming. Because I'm farther away from my project because of the camera and everything, and I don't want my head in the camera. But honestly, that was not a problem when I was creating my original card. It's just a kind of a little error that I made while doing the filming here. So I don't want you to think that that's kind of what's going to happen to you, because this really is easy, and I don't want you to get discouraged thinking, oh my gosh, she went out of the lines, I'm not going to be able to do it, because you absolutely are. Again, it was just a problem from trying to keep my head out of the camera view here. Okay, so now I'm doing this other flower in red. Cleaning off my brush. Now I'm going to do these little flowers here with some really pretty blue. It's called Sapphire Blue. And wait till you guys see this. It is so beautiful. It's such a pretty color. And on this black cardstock, it just pops. It's so pretty. So let's go ahead and get those colored up here. And I'm going to bring this up just a little bit so you can hopefully see a little bit better what I'm doing. There we go. Show you some of that shimmer and shine. And I think that the gold embossing really helps make this pop as well. Now you could emboss it in another color if you wanted to. You could emboss it with white or silver, and it would still look beautiful. I just was going with kind of a gold theme on this. This stamp set has a lot of lovely images for anniversaries or weddings. Of course, you don't have to use it for those. It also has a thank you sentiment and some other things. So you definitely don't have to stick to just weddings or anniversaries with this stamp set. It definitely has a lot more to it than that. But I was kind of going for like a love you kind of card. So I kind of went with a gold theme, but you can really do whatever you want. All right, so I did that leaf back there. I've done all the blues here. Now I just want to do a little bit of green at the base. of these little buds here. Okay, and now we're going to do these little flowers over here. And I did these in a pearl silver color. And it might not show up on video too well, but it's really pretty. And see how tiny these are? Let me just make sure. Yes, I think I'm on frame here. And this watercolor paintbrush just gets right into those tiny little spaces. So I was really, this was the first time I'd used this brush. Excuse me, still fighting this cold. I'm so sorry, guys. This is the first time that I had used this brush, so I really wasn't quite sure. I'm so used to the water brush and all the control that I have with the water brush that I was a little nervous. But part of this whole experience is to try new things, so I definitely wanted to try my hand at this brush, and I love it. I am so pleased with how I'm able to get into these little detailed spots. A lot better than I thought I could. So it's definitely a great brush, and I will have a link on my blog to all of my products that I used to create this card, and I will link you to my blog in the description box of this video. Now I'm going to take some of the pearl gold and dab the middle of these flowers with it, and this is such a tiny little circle, but again you'll see how I'm able to get in there with this little tiny watercolor brush. It's really great. I'm just able to get into these little teeny tiny spaces. I need a little bit more color on my brush though. Let's see. There we go. That's better. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to do after I finish coloring in these little dots here, the little centers of these tiny little flowers, is I'm going to color in these two flowers here, and for that I use an amethyst color from the watercolor palette. So this is just a really pretty purpley color, and it just shines. It's just so gorgeous. I'm really a huge fan of these watercolors. They're quite beautiful. Now I'm going to do this other one here. And there's no magic to what I'm doing here. I'm honestly just coloring it in. Just putting a little bit of paint on the tip of that brush there and coloring it in, and it's doing all the work for me. I missed a little blue flower here, so we're gonna fix that really quick. I hope my head's not in this. I'm sorry if it is. Missed this blue flower here, so let me color that in and then finish up this purple flower here. There we go. Now I'm going to take that pearl gold again and just do the centers of these purple flowers as well. And I put a little bit too much water on that, as you can see, so I got a little bit of purple, or gold rather, on this particular petal. No big deal. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to take a clean water and kind of dab it off. Then I'm going to dip my paintbrush back into the purple and put the purple over it, and it fixed it. So that's a good tip. I mean, these are very forgiving in that you can kind of fix if you make any mistakes. I'm going to finish this leaf here, and next we're going to do this leaf over here, and I'm going to quicken this up a little bit because I don't want the video to be too super long. I really just kind of wanted to introduce you guys to these watercolors because I hadn't worked with them before, and I saw another blogger friend of mine working with them, and I decided to give them a try, and I am so in love with them. They are just wonderful. Okay, now I made kind of a hot mess over here, just going too quickly, so I'm going to take my paper towel and dab that up. And now I'm going to take my paintbrush and get it even better dabbed up here. And this is just, if you go out of the lines, and I keep all of my mistakes in my videos because I want to show you that that mistakes happen even to those of us that, you know, kind of do this full time. And it's okay. You can fix it, and it's not the end of the world. So that's why I don't really edit my videos. I just try to kind of pretend that I'm, you know, live with you guys, and if I make a mistake, we're going to fix it together, and I'm going to show you how to fix it so that if it happens to you, you know what to do. So now you can see there where I'd gone out of the lines. You can't see anymore that I went out of the lines. I fixed it with just some clean water. So now I'm just going to finish right here. I've got this one big flower left to do in the red, and then we're all finished. So I'm going to color this one in, this big old flower here. I'm going to dry my paintbrush off a little bit and just finish spreading this paint around on this particular flower. Getting all the black spaces filled in. Okay, and we are done, guys. This is your finish, what it looks like finished. And of course, you could totally do different colors. You have 12 different colors to pick from. These are just what I chose to do. So you would want to set this aside to dry. And then let me bring back over the finished card. This is, again, what the finished card looks like after I have let it dry, cut it to size, added my sentiment, which says forever and always. I added a strip of glimmer paper. It happens to be from Stampin' Up. It's gold glimmer paper. And then this design paper just happens to be from a pad I got at Michael's, and it's a Recollection brand, and it's called Mint and Blush. And it's just very pretty. I think I got it for like $3. So I'll just thumb through that for you. It's just very pretty. So that's kind of what I did. And then I added some sequins to finish it off. So that would be the end of that card. Let me just bring this back over again and show you what we just colored on camera. And as you can see, the mistakes, hopefully you can see, hopefully this is showing on camera, the mistakes where I went out of the lines and where I got colors into other areas is completely fixed. You cannot see that anymore. So let that show you that even if you make mistakes with watercoloring, it's very forgiving and can be fixed quite easily. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. The last thing I want to talk about is the giveaway for this stamp set. Again, it's brand new, unopened stamp set. This is not the stamp set I used to create the card. I have my own. This is mine that I used to create the card. So this has never been used, brand new. And all you have to do for a chance to win this stamp set is simply become a subscriber if you're not already. If you are a subscriber, you don't have to do anything except just leave a comment on this video. And I will pick a winner in 1 week. So today is Wednesday, June 7th, and I will pick a winner Wednesday from now. Okay, so please just leave me a comment and become a subscriber to my video if you're not. That's all you need to do, guys, and this gorgeous stamp set will be yours. I'll send it right out to the winner, and I'll use random.com to determine the winner. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you'll give these fine Tec watercolors a try. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment or send me an email. I have my email listed on my blog.